across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. The kicker, Graham Gano, set to put his foot into this one. And we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. First down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Bridgewater. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now Gordon on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Azeez Ojulari brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Third and long now after the sack. And we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Bridgewater. Throw right side is going to be caught by Judy. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Bridgewater now. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you,
and he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Dexter Lawrence. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Play action now. Bridgewater. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. The kick by McManus is good. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. Sheds off the tackle, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Jones. There's the first NFL catch for Kadarius Toney. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 43-yard line.
Now Jones just going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. Throwing, Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 18 there, and the Giants have a 1st down.
And no one happier to see that than the Giants fans themselves. Saquon Barkley was used a lot his rookie year, 91 catches, which was a record for NFL rookies. That fell off to 52 in 2019. And then, of course, the injury in week 2 at Chicago last year prevented him from reaching those heights.
That's caught by Galladay. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Give him 32 on the play. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Back to throw again. That's to Galladay, and he's got it. Touchdown, New York. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Giants have taken the lead. The touchdown all set up by the big play 1 snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Get the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. To throw on 2nd and 10. Bridgewater escaping the pressure right. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Well, obviously you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline and saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover, but I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense. I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down. They're going to run. This is Gordon. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Running left, it's Barkley. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Bridgewater now after the fumble recovery. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
And the Broncos expected big things out of Jerry Jeudy, their number 1 pick in 2020. But he really had to make a jump with the injury to Cortland Sutton. Almost 900 yards last year. A nice grab there.
Bridgewater's throw into the hands of Fan.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
At the Giants' 30-yard line.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. Open man, he completes it to Jeudy. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Play fake. Bridgewater. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Give the sack to Blake Martinez.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks are starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
To try again after the sack. Bridgewater. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Jeudy. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy. 34 yards. And the Broncos have retaken the lead.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because giving up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 10-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Returning it, here's Hamler. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Flush to his right. That's complete. Okui-Buna. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back, and he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Throwing, Bridgewater. And he's got the hook up to Moore. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Bridgewater again. He's got it. And the Broncos are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw is Bridgewater. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Melvin Gordon there to make the grab. And the Broncos push further out in front.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 20. Another try after the first down sack. Jones. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
And that is incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players. And glad to have you because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Forced out to his left. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. And McManus able to put it through. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. 45. Mike, 45.
Throwing on second down. Jones. And that's complete to Shepard. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Now Jones just going to bat this forward on the jet sweep.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
At the 21-yard line.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
Check 43.
It's Barkley on the counter. He's dropped just inside the 20. A little second effort there, but couldn't find a whole lot of space. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. They'll run it again with Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that lead is back down to 9 now. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Bridgewater. And his throw is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Bridgewater. He completes this to Sutton. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. It'll be a gain of 11, and that's going to make it fourth down. On the sneak, it's Bridgewater. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth. They'll run on first down. It's Gordon. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
First down, Broncos.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. He'll fire one downfield for Fant. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Jones now on 1st and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener. Here's Bridgewater. Flushed out right. And he's able to get up here to the 26. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games around the league here early in Week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Now Bridgewater. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. Touchdown! Tim Patrick, 64 yards. And the Broncos use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
And I caught a quick glimpse of him before the ball was snapped, and there was something about his body language where you could tell early in this play he wasn't just thinking first down. He was thinking end zone, and he got there.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Coming up on 2nd and 7. Now Jones. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Throwing Jones. Man open, it's Tony. He's got it. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
They'll look to throw again. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And they'll get to this and down it inside the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
2nd and 7. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. Sliding out of the pocket. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. Vic Fangio's thought about it, and he'll indeed throw the red flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean,
and now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They go back to Gordon here on first down. Trucks over him. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. And now defensively they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Bridgewater going to keep it running right. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Bridgewater to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. Cortland Sutton, 35 yards. And the Broncos are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Now Bridgewater will lead the troops up to go for 2. Bridgewater will try and throw. And the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player on the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. It's picked up by the Broncos. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. What a difference a year makes so far, at least. These guys last place in their division a year ago. Looking like they're going to move to 1-0 right now.
Not really unusual in the NFL, though, is it? Because we always talk about every year, 8-8 is kind of the baseline for everyone, plus or minus. And we've seen many teams go from worst to first. I know it's 1 week, but still, they're starting to think to themselves, we've got a chance this season.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to throw. Jones. Jones hit and the ball's out.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Jones. That ball caught by Slayton. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is dropped in incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Broncos, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road